Alright guys, since you want to have the diff covers open, you might as well go ahead and take the whole thing apart and check the internal grease also. The WLToys was 144, and I'm sure these are going to be the same. Was just like the outside. It had one little strip of grease, but nothing even halfway where it should be to give you any protection. So go ahead, if you got your diffs apart, you might as well go ahead and open it up all the way and check the grease inside. Come on. Oh. Yeah, if you look down in here, there's grease on the side, but the actual gear's completely dry. The only grease is caked up over here on the sides, and it's very, very thin, but the actual gear's completely empty. So definitely, before you run, now this is with the 144, the 124, whatever, open them up and grease them and save yourself a lot of hassle, a lot of headache, and make your RC last. So I'm going to pause it right here. I'll go grab the grease and I'll be right back. Okay, I just got some outer butter that I got as a sample, and I don't even know where it came from. Something I ordered, this came as a sample. So I just take a Q-tip, get a little bit on there, just work it around, on the gears a little bit. Guys, do not pack these full of grease. Let me put the top on so I can get them all to turn. All you need, a little bit more. All you need is to coat the gears. I don't know if this is picking up. The light's not really showing, but there's a nice layer of green udder butter on all of the gears. I don't know if it's picking that up or not, but it is definitely on there. It don't look like it on camera, at least on my end. The back's just like the front, completely dry. What small amount is up against the wall there, not even touching the gears. So do the back, do the front, save yourself a headache. I know this might sound simple, but make sure your wheel nuts are tight. The front on this one was really good and tight. The back was literally finger tight. So I had to go through and tighten up the back wheel nuts. If y'all remember on the 144s, if you didn't tighten up the wheel nuts as soon as you got it, you'd be driving down, taking it out for your first test run, and your wheel go flying, and then you're most likely lost your hex and your pin. So save yourself some headache. Check the wheel nuts. These are much better than the 144s. They do have the flange on the nut, so you're not going to have to worry about them coming off. But definitely check the wheel nuts. These 4 screws here, 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 and here. Make sure that you put Loctite, blue Loctite, and you don't have to use a lot. A little bit goes a long way. These screws are not the best ever anyway, so I'll say don't use a lot, and I'll completely cover the screw. Let me get some of that off of there. Okay. Do not use red Loctite, use blue. Because these will vibrate out once you break the Loctite that comes on them from the factory. They will back out as you're driving, and then your whole steering mechanism is going to blow apart, and you're going to be searching for parts and most likely not find them. So make sure that you put Loctite back. If you don't have Loctite, you can use super glue. Been using super glue for years and years. It works. Same way with Loctite, just a little drop is all you need. So if you don't have Loctite but you do have super glue, there you go. Anything just to keep these from starting to back out. Like I said, don't overdo it, just a drop. And if you get too much, just wipe it off. A lot of y'all know about this, a lot of y'all do not. But you see right here, the little screw, that is a M3 by 10 millimeter. These do not come in the car. But what they do, when you get the car, these limit the droop and also the angle of your, well, it is CVs in the front, but it's dog bones in the back. The further you put down, tighten down the screw, the further it will bring the arm up. So one of the reasons this thing had a lot of chatter was the angle was really steep on the front and the back, more so in the back with the dog bones. But you can use M3 screw. I used an M3 by 10, screwed it all the way down, and then backed it out like 10 turns. And that gave me a much better angle. And it really quietened down the chatter. And a lot of guys do this because they want to get their car as low as possible. You know, they're doing speed runs, so they want to get as much air as possible out and under the bottom of the car. So they will get these as low as they can get them with these screws right here. There's a hole on all four. That's what these little tabs, see that little tab sticking out right there? That's what that screw, you can see the screw sticking down in there. That's what it hits on. So raise these up. The angle is really steep. When they come stock, same way at the back. You can see the screw right here. right there. So just eyeball it. You can actually measure, but just do them both the same. That way you don't mess up your geometry with your arms. But I found the best way to do, screw them all the way down and then back them out the same amount of turns. I took the shocks off and they were so full of oil, like it would only compress like that. I mean, it was completely full, wouldn't compress all the way. I took the cap off and just took a paper towel, dabbed down in there, soaked up a little bit, screwed the cap back on, and now full compression. So you might want to check your shocks. I thought the front seemed a little stiff compared to the back, so I was wanting to see what was going on with the shocks, and they just had too much oil in it. But unscrew the cap, dab just a little out. That's if yours is stiff, maybe not, but if your front end feels a little stiff, probably they put too much oil in. So that's that. To give you a little comparison of what adjusting the arms, greasing the diffs, taking the diffs apart, greasing the inside. Listen to this compared to, I'll throw a clip in of the unboxing video. So hopefully you picks up the difference. You can tell how much smoother it actually runs, which is going to also translate into higher top speeds. It's less cogging, less friction, less wear, which means it's going to go faster. If your RC is set up properly, you should be able to drop it and it stick. If it hits and bounces, or if the bottoms out, I'm not talking drop it from 20 feet in the air. Pick up your RC and drop it. It should hit the ground, stick with the suspension doing the work. Grease your diffs, go ahead, open them up, grease the inside. Check your shocks because they're probably going to be overfilled and too stiff. Check the wheel nuts because they're probably going to be loose. Don't forget to re-lock tight the 4 screws that go in the metal. Other than that, you are ready to run. I believe that is just about everything that you need to do before you take it outside and start bashing. I know a lot of y'all want to grab it out of the box, run straight outside and go to town. I know I do, but take the time, do the work before, and your RC is going to last much longer. It's going to perform way better, and you're going to have a better time overall. There it is, guys. Make sure you get those things taken care of before you go outside and start ripping it up, and you will thank yourself later for putting in the work. That's going to do it. Until next time, guys, take care.